World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day, I am Peñano with today's World News in 5. US President Donald Trump says he will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Budapest to discuss ending the war in Ukraine. The announcement comes as Washington considers new military aid for Kyiv. Trump said he and Putin agreed to hold the summit within 2 weeks after what he described as a productive 2-hour phone call. The Kremlin confirmed the plan, though no date has been set. Trump said he believes a peace deal is within reach even as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visits the White House to request Tomahawk long-range missiles. Putin reportedly warned Trump that supplying such weapons would harm peace efforts, while Zelensky said Moscow's eagerness to resume talks shows it is under pressure. The meeting's venue, Budapest, has drawn attention because Hungary maintains close ties with Russia. Prime Minister Viktor Orban welcomed the talks, calling them great news for peace-loving people. Meanwhile, fighting continues to escalate. Ukraine says Russia launched more than 300 drones and dozens of missiles overnight, while Kyiv struck back at a Russian oil refinery. All eyes now turn to Budapest, where the next Trump-Putin meeting could shape the path toward peace. In our news, Israel and Hamas are trading blame over violations of a US-mediated ceasefire as tensions rise over the delayed return of hostages' bodies and the reopening of Gaza's Rafah crossing with Egypt. Israel says it's preparing to reopen the crossing for Palestinian movement but has yet to set a date. It's also demanding that Hamas return the bodies of 19 Israeli hostages still unaccounted for. Hamas insists it remains committed to the truce but says recovering some remains is difficult because many are buried beneath rubble or in destroyed tunnels. The group, however, accuses Israel of violating the ceasefire, claiming more than 20 Palestinians have been killed in shootings since last week. Israeli forces deny deliberate attacks, saying troops only fired when threatened. The next phase of the US-backed peace plan calls for Hamas to disarm, a condition it rejects. President Trump has warned Hamas to behave, saying US-led action could follow if violence continues. Meanwhile, the UN warns Gaza faces famine, with over 2 million people displaced and nearly 68,000 reported dead since the war began. For now, the fragile ceasefire holds, but peace in Gaza remains uncertain. Pakistan says it is ready to hold talks with Afghanistan to end the recent border conflict as a 48-hour ceasefire continues to hold after days of intense fighting. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif told his cabinet that Pakistan had retaliated after running out of patience over repeated militant attacks allegedly launched from Afghan territory. He said Islamabad is open to dialogue, but only if Kabul agrees to what he called Pakistan's valid conditions. The Taliban government has yet to respond, though officials in Kabul say this ceasefire remains in place. Afghan authorities have also called for mutual respect and peaceful relations with their neighbors. The clashes were among the worst between the two countries in decades, with Pakistan claiming to have killed 34 militants. The UN says at least 18 Afghan civilians were killed and more than 360 wounded. In Kabul, residents described the horror of airstrikes before the truce took effect, with homes destroyed, streets covered in dust, and survivors pulled from the rubble. Both nations say they want peace, but tensions on the border suggest the road to it may still be long. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, I am Peñano. Good day.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.